Good morning, grade 8, and welcome to the Mr. Hagen Show. In today's episode, we will have our morning meeting. We will discuss the work that you guys did for me yesterday, and we will go over the work that you are going to be doing today. First, our theme: look to the Lord and his strength. Seek his face always. Yesterday, we read from Proverbs chapter 21. Well, let's start with verse 25. The sluggard's craving will be the death of him, because his hands refuse to work. Man, those sluggards, you think they'd get the point by now? I guess not. I also picked verse 2 and 3. All a man's ways seem right to him, but the Lord weighs his heart. To do what is right and just is more acceptable to the Lord than sacrifice. I think for the most part, we all try to do what we think is right, but the Lord knows our thoughts. He knows why we do things. And verse 3 reminded me of Habakkuk in terms of justice seeking, to do what is right and just. Those are good things. I also picked verse 23. He who guards his mouth and his tongue keeps himself from calamity. Another great verse and how we can use our words. But I want to end with verse 21. He who pursues righteousness and love finds life, prosperity, and honor. I'm pretty sure that everyone would like to have life, prosperity, and honor. So how do we get those things? We have to pursue righteousness and love. I love that word, pursue. It makes me think of a chase or a race. You have to run after someone or something. So to pursue something is hard work. It's not a word a sluggard would use. We have to get at it. We have to work hard. We have to try the best that we can. We have to pursue it. So let's pursue righteousness and love. Today we are reading chapter 22. Keep the prayer requests coming, and don't forget to spend time with God today. Yesterday, hopefully you watched my supreme, monumentally awesome math video explaining the Gauss test from last week. In literature, we continued to look at the themes in Proverbs. Your slides, I'm looking forward to seeing those. Those are not due until Wednesday. We also continued our look at the story Expanse with the very interesting story of Louis Riel's trial. I also asked you some important questions in the grade 8 questionnaire. I haven't looked at them, so I'm hoping that you guys were very specific, honest, and respectful. Today, we will attempt another Gauss test. I'm very confident that you will rock this one. Iggy agrees. We will continue to work on our essays. Today, you will begin the process of writing your rough draft. Now, rough draft doesn't mean that you are allowed to hand something in that's full of mistakes. You still need to edit your work. You still need to reread it and reread it. I encourage you to read it out loud to yourself before you hand it in. Check all grammar, spelling, composition, punctuation, all of that stuff. It's a rough draft, meaning it's not your final one. That doesn't mean that it needs to be rough and bad. Make it as good as you can. That also makes your final draft much easier. You have this week to work on that. It is due on Friday, because Friday I'd like to start reading them. Today, we will also continue our work with Habakkuk. We are reading the last chapter, but we will take 3 lessons to get through the last chapter. Today, we are actually only going to focus on one verse, verse 2. The video today spends time going over the theme in Habakkuk and also going over some of the work you guys did last week in Habakkuk. That's it for me today. I hope you guys have a great day. The question of the day today is, if you could create your own animal by combining 2 or more other animals together, what animal would you create and what would you call it? I'm Mr. Hagen, and I like cookies.